We are honored today to have State Representative Dwayne Bohac here that will speak first on the habitability ordinance that he led the charge at the last state legislation, and it was passed. So without further ado, Representative.
Thank you very much, committee members, for allowing me to speak on this very important issue to both me and my community that I represent. As you know, I represent West and Northwest Houston, very similar to Councilmember Lawrence. And this area has numerous aging multifamily units that are in need of repair. The passage of House Bill 1819 last session, which y'all helped us craft, y'all's attorneys and other members of the city, thank you for that. The passage of House Bill 1819 and the adoption of the ordinance you guys are crafting will go a very long way in protecting the over 1 million Houstonians who live in apartments. Additionally, these habitability standards will help protect property values and the safety of surrounding neighborhoods. So the protection is twofold, the residents and the neighborhoods. When we began looking at ways to address apartment complexes that had neglected, where the owners had neglected to provide adequate living conditions to their residents, we found that unlike several other major cities, Houston did not have a routine program for periodic reinspection. While the city does respond to resident and other complaints, serious issues often go unreported for a number of reasons. As you all know, following the devastation of Hurricane Ike, Houstonians had to scramble to find new homes for the thousands that were displaced. This took particularly long because the city of Houston did not have an inventory of multifamily units that met adequate minimum habitability standards. I believe that the adoption of this ordinance will significantly improve the lives of hundreds of thousands of Houstonians who live in and around these troubled buildings. When an apartment complex is allowed to become run down, it often becomes a magnet for criminal activity that's not right for the residents who live there, and it's not right for the surrounding community. And in closing, a rigorous reinspection program along with adequate city manpower will help ensure the safety of apartment residents and surrounding areas, and I want to thank you for your time.
Councilmember Clutterbuck.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I wanted to add my thanks to Representative Bohac for appearing before us. The passage of this will enable us to keep our communities safer and to protect the over 50% of Houston residents who live in multifamily housing, as well as provide for a nicer, more habitable place to live. And it was a lot of hard work on your part during the legislative session, and we couldn't do it without Dwayne Bohac. Thank you.
And thank you. I know you worked very hard in your particular district as well. Yes. And I want to say one of the inspirations for this bill was the tragic death of Officer Abernathy. Tony Lawrence, along with the mayor and Chief Harold Hurt and other police officers and myself, participated in a town hall meeting that Tony had. And so listening to our constituents, this is an idea that was actually hatched by constituents who were at that meeting that Tony put together. So a good leader is a good listener, and often our constituents come up with the best ideas for bills and city ordinance, and this is truly a citizen-driven bill. I want to thank you all for tackling this challenge. I know it's going to be a great ordinance, and I know it's going to benefit the residents of apartments and neighborhoods, and I thank you all for that.
Representative, thank you for coming today, and certainly thank you. This is not something that is partisan. It's something that we needed across the board, and we certainly appreciate the work that you did and partnering with people in the Senate to get this passed. So thank you for your work, and it's something that we've been looking at for a long time, Director Atkins' office, and we're just glad that it was passed, and with your leadership it was, so thank you so much.
And speaking of nonpartisan, I want to give a thank you, big thank you to Senator Rodney Ellis, who made this happen in the Senate. He worked double overtime to help ensure its passage, so thank you for bringing up that point.
And thank you for taking the time again to join us today.